Hello and welcome to the very first video here on Anywhere But Here Fangirl. We're gonna have so much fun today. We're gonna create a definitive ranking of all 15 seasons of Supernatural, including the ones we love and the ones we like a little less. Before that, a super quick announcement. As I mentioned in my inaugural video, I'm gonna be trying out a whole bunch of stuff from the long and storied history of the fandom. This includes, but is not limited to, in any shape or form, books, media, music, and basically anything else you guys can throw my way. So, I'm going to be doing all of this under the umbrella of a brand new series right here on this channel called Saving People, Testing Things. So, you know where to come to once those things start rolling in. Okay, let's get into it. So we've got all 15 seasons right here in front of us and our little tier list. We're going to do this sequentially. Let's start with season one. So season one, I think it's really sort of a perfect first season in the sense that it really matches temporally with the contemporary shows and with its sort of villain of the week, monster of the week type of a format. I do feel that when it comes to like the overarching storyline of the boys trying to find John, it doesn't do it as well as it does the overarching storyline in other seasons, but it's a solid season, so there's nothing too bad to say about season one. It's kind of really interesting and perfect in what it's trying to be. So I'm gonna start by putting it in B, but I might move it around. But for now, let's put season one in B. So we've got season two. I feel like with season two, the first thing that I think of is the balance between the overarching storyline and the villain of the week stuff. So with season two, I'd say that it's a little bit better than season one in terms of that balance. And so I want to put it in A. But let's put it in A for now, and then we can come back to it. Season three, and now we're picking up. Now we're gaining steam. We're getting better guest artists. We're getting better guest characters, guest actors. We're getting more experimental here with the storylines and things like that. I do really like season three. I think season three is very interesting. It has a lot of good episodes, like Mystery Spot, for example. But it's not my S tier season just yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and put season three in the A tier as well. All right, now we're coming to season four, and this is where it gets really, really good. I think seasons four and five kind of, for me, they're like one big unit because the storyline is so, like, the overarching storyline is so close for both of these seasons that they kind of feel like this one unit as opposed to two separate seasons. Because I know that even though there's like season five goes a lot into like wrapping up this big story that's being set up from season one, and season four is like sort of the penultimate chapter of that story. Like I can differentiate it in that sense, but in terms of like quality and things like that, it's really, really good. So I think that seasons four and five should stay together as a unit. So whichever tier I end up putting them in, I think they both have to be together. So I think these are both S tier seasons. Like four and five, hits after hits, great music, great guest actors, good acting, good like sort of connection to the overarching storyline, still doing the villain of the week stuff, which is what it's known for. So I really like it. So I'm gonna do seasons four and five in the S tier for now. We might revisit that, but I doubt it. These are really good seasons in my opinion. Season six. So I really, really love French Mistake. It's like my second favorite episode in the entire series. But I can't justify putting it in the A tier. Forget the S tier. I can't even justify putting it in the A tier just because of French Mistake. Even though it's a really, really good episode. I think, but it's also not like, I think season six lost me a little bit. I can't say that it's also B tier because it's not on the same level as season one. That kind of only leaves C tier for now. But I feel like C tier is putting it a little low. I wish it was like a B.5 tier. Well, anyway, let's put it in C tier for now, and we can like revisit it. Season seven was all the Leviathan stuff, and not the biggest fan of it. I mean, I know that there were a lot of like larger plot points that happened, like I think Bobby's death happens in season seven. So there's a lot of those like emotional highs and lows which are good, but I think it's a B. I think it's a B. Because I feel like those two things kind of offset each other out. So I'm gonna go with the B for season seven. Season eight. Season eight is like the post-purgatory stuff. I feel like it's one of the better seasons. I'm gonna go ahead and easily put this in an A because it has a really solid overarching storyline. Sam's whole thing with the mirrors to like season four and like his motivation to do certain things and close the gates to hell and all of that stuff. And we get a lot of Crowley, and that's always cool. So I feel like all of the characters are coming on very strong, very solid. it doesn't feel too draggy like it did with the Leviathan stuff. Then there's also the gap between Sam and Dean with the whole purgatory gap. So very interesting, very engaging. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. So I'm gonna say season 8 goes to an A. Season 9. So season 9 is sort of like the direct mirror. Like basically we get a lot of like Cass being human stuff, and I'm a Cass girl, so I really love all of that stuff. I would say for season 9, also, like, I don't know if it's an S tier. That's my concern, because I really do like season 9, but I wouldn't go so far as to putting it in the S tier. I would say it's A at the very least. It's an A. Yeah, let's leave it there for now. Okay, I want to circle back to season 9 and also make the case for the fact that 8 and 9 should also belong together, because if we have all of the closing the gates of hell in season 8 and all of the trials that Sam is going through, season 9 is all of that stuff, but with Dean, like mirrored with Dean having to go through the Mark of Cain and everything that follows afterwards. So I'm more solid in my justification on season 9 being an A, because I think 8 and 9 have to belong in the same tier, whatever tier they're in, and they're both phenomenal seasons. So I'm gonna leave them at least in A for now. Season 10 starts off really strong with Demon Dean, and I feel like there's a lot of good acting in season 10. um I'd argue putting season 10 in A, because I mean season 10 has like Rowena, and she is Queen Rowena. I'm all for her. So I think season 10 should definitely be in the A tier at the very least. But I think there's also a little bit of like, while there's a lot of strong characters and a lot of strong acting, the villain of the week format, the monster of the week format, that's like a bit of like, it brings the season down a little bit, because those stories aren't like, not all of them were hits for me personally. So I'm gonna put it in A, but I feel like A is getting overloaded, so I'm gonna keep that at the back of my mind. So season 10 is going in A for now. Season 11 is really interesting, because I feel like the stakes feel really, really high. Like it feels like a very, this is going to be the end of the show kind of a thing, especially if you were watching it in sort of real time and you didn't know if it was going to get renewed. So I think that that's been set up really well. I think it's super, super interesting. I loved season 11. Season 11 has to be S tier for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, because season 11 was really good. Okay, season 12. Here's gonna be my controversial take. I do not like season 12 at all. And it's not because of Mary. I know a lot of people think that Mary was not a great character, and I'm personally one of those people. But more on that later. But season 12 did not stick with me at all. And I think they also make a joke about this at some point, where Chuck is like, you guys have done so much stuff, but like, at some point you decided to at some point you decided to go at it with the British men of letters, and like, okay, whatever. And so yeah, season 12 did not, like, it did not feel coming from season 11, especially where the stakes felt so high, to season 12 where it's just like machine guns. And yeah, Lucifer's baby, I mean, yes, Kelly is a very good addition to the cast, and the whole Lucifer's baby thing is like also a very interesting plot line, but it's split between the British Men of Letters and this, and it feels kind of stupid, especially again coming from season 11, where everyone had to like band together for to be able to defeat Amara, and like this is like this whole thing, going from that to being like Lucifer's having a child and we have a problem. That didn't feel so high. And there's like a couple of really standout episodes, because I know that Richard Spade Jr. did direct a couple of episodes in season 12, which really stuck with me. I think Stuck in the Middle is one of them, which is like a Tarantino sort of homage to Tarantino kind of thing, which I really loved. So there's some really good moments in season 12, but they're so few, and they're so sparse. I have to put season 12 in the D tier. So that kind of leaves us with 13, 14, and 15, our final three. I'm gonna go. Let's talk about 13, because I want to directly put 15 in the S tier, because it's the perfect goodbye. I mean, I don't know what else to. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let's be a little less chronological and put 15 in the S tier already, because it was, despite its limitations, it was a great season. And we're left with 13 and 14. So I thought 13 was interesting. 13 is our first introduction to Jack. It's really cool. 13 was an interesting season, but it didn't hit so strong with me as some of the other ones. So I think I'm gonna have to put 13 in the B tier. Like it was great. It was really good, but just okay, I guess. Oh, season 14. I think season 14 has to go in the A tier. And I know my A tier is getting a little too stacked, so I'm going to move some stuff around in a minute. But I think season 14 belongs in the A tier because it does it so perfectly. Like, it has a lot of heavy themes. It is very interesting. And I know, like, the Michael stuff can sometimes feel like the writers are beating it over you with a rock, but it's still a good season. It's a very, very well written season. And so it has to at least be an A. Is what I'm with right now. And I think I agree that there's a lot of stuff in I agree as though I can like hear what you guys are saying. No, I mean I know people are gonna say that there's a lot of stuff in in tier A, and I think some stuff ought to be moved around. But 2 and 3 have to stay together, 8 and 9 have to stay together. Yeah, that's true. I think maybe season 14 is gonna go to the S tier for me. And I think I'm going to switch that with season 15 and bring season 15 to the A tier because I do think season 14 is better than season 15. But the problem is with season 15, all you can remember is the final episode, and that's like the final few episodes, which is already like a lot. But I really, really love season 14 in terms of like what it is thematically. Like I think after season 11, it's one of the best seasons. So I'm gonna move season 14 up to the S tier and bring season 15 down to the A tier. I think that's it. That's all the changes I'm gonna make because I do think the best of the best seasons in Supernatural are 4, 5, 11, and 14. When it comes to the A tier, which is like all close enough, like very close to the S tier, but not the most exceptional ones, are 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, and 15. And then the very solid ones are 1, 7, and 13, which are like not bad in the slightest, but they're not as good as like the aforementioned ones. And then 6 is just it has its moments, but it could be so much better. And then 12 is my least favorite, and that's my final ranking. I just quickly wanted to talk about the community tier list, which is rankings coagulated across what people have done online. And this is, as you can see, this is from the 28th of February, which is it's been updated pretty recently. Let's look at the S tier. In the S tier, we've got seasons 4, 5, 2, and 3, which I mean, I love the first 5 seasons, but it's not S tier. Like so much more of the interesting stuff happens in the later seasons. But 4 and 5 are pretty good. I will leave it at that. In the A tier, that's season 1, which I mean I disagree with the fact that they've put most of you have put most of the seasons in C and D tiers. I strongly take offense to and disagree with. But yeah, let's take a quick look at the rest of these. So on in the A tier is season 1. In the B tier is season 11. Which means generally most of you think that season 11 is just okay, and I don't understand where this mentality is coming from. Who are the people doing this ranking? Like, please come at me in the comment section. Let's chat because I disagree with this. Then in the C tier we've got 6, 8, 9, and 10. Well, I agree with 6. But like 8 and 9 are so good. I mean, 10 is not bad either, but 8 and 9 are so good. Yeah, no justification. You can't put 8 and 9 in like the C tier. And then in the D tier, we've got all the last seasons. We've got 7, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And I mean, 14 is really good. Like, what's all of this hate? Like, I can understand. 12 is the only one I definitely agree with. 15 wasn't that bad either. It wasn't bad enough to be in the S tier. It does do a lot of heavy hitting, despite the limitations that the production team had. So, yeah, I would like to talk to the people who did these rankings. I if you think that this ranking is closer to like what you think of than my ranking, then please come and talk to me in the comment section. Let's chat. All right, what do you guys think? I know that many of you are going to disagree with my ranking, but that's par for the course. So comment below. Tell me if you agree or disagree. What your thoughts are. Let's talk. Thank you for liking, sharing, and clicking that bell. I will see you next time.